fun when you're out. Inside. I say no. I'm getting demolition. They're gonna sink more money there. Yeah, I think. Oh.
I think it can be fixed up pretty reasonable.
Okay. All right, it's 6 o'clock. Time for us to call the meeting to order. Could we please stand for prayer? Ken Odie, will pray for us.
Let's pray. Dear Lord, may we realize afresh today what your death and resurrection mean for us. Forgiveness, freedom, and the ability to walk with you through this fallen world into eternity. May we always find our satisfaction in you and your willingness to offer yourself to us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for being here this evening. We'll go ahead and have the clerk call the roll.
Mayor Mike Dree.
Here.
City Attorney Darren Rice.
Here.
Alderman Dewey Eccleberry.
Here.
Alderman Cody Atterbury.
Here.
Alderman Clifford Reaver.
Here.
Alderman Tyler Lampley.
Here.
Alderman Eugene McGill.
Present.
Alderman Jerry Lisenby.
Here.
Alderman Terry Stahl.
Here.
Alderman Gary Moore.
Present.
Minutes of the March 22nd meeting were presented for approval. I'd entertain a motion to approve them.
I'll make that motion. I'll second that motion.
I have a motion by Alderman McGill, seconded by Alderman Eccleberry to approve the minutes of the March 22nd meeting. Roll call vote, Reaver.
Here.
Present, yes.
You called me first.
You done that the last time, you did it again.
Just
Yeah.
messing with you, Clifford, just messing with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stahl.
Yes.
Atterbury.
Yes.
Eccleberry.
Yes.
Lampley.
Yes.
Lisenby.
Yes.
McGill.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Approval of special minutes, special meeting minutes. We had a special meeting on April 7th. Those minutes are presented for approval.
I'll make the motion to approve.
it.
I have a motion by Alderman Lampley, seconded by Alderman Reaver to approve the minutes of the special meeting held April 7th. Roll call vote, Stahl.
Yes.
Atterbury.
Yes.
Eccleberry.
Yes.
Lampley.
Yes.
Lisenby.
Yes.
McGill.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Reaver.
Yes.
Okay, approval of the bills. Current bills were presented for payment. After examination of the listed bills, do we have a vote to approve them?
I'll make the motion, we pay the bills. I'll second that motion.
I have a motion by Alderman Stahl, seconded by Alderman McGill to approve payment of the bills for this meeting. Roll call vote, Atterbury.
Yes.
Eccleberry.
Yes.
Lampley.
Yes.
Lisenby.
Yes.
McGill.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Reaver.
Yes.
Stahl.
Yes.
We have a section for public comments. If you have comments for the city council, now would be the time that should step forward and make your comments. Yes, ma'am. Could you give me your name and your address, please? And you have 3 minutes.
My name? What he said?
Name and
Yes.
address.
Name and address, yes.
Betty Ray, 1016 Spain Street.
Yes, ma'am.
I've listened to this for several weeks about the cleanup of Fairfield. I have a suggestion, and I know it'll work because Carmi did it, and it worked wonderfully for them. I would like to address the issue. I think it's wrong to fine someone because they couldn't get rid of their garbage. And they couldn't even have enough money to buy a dumpster to put it in. I can remember way back when we had a dump, and people could take stuff out to the dump when they had something. And when that dump left, I've got 15 houses in Fairfield, and I can tell you, it just went worse and worse and worse. I have remember back when whatever you put out with the street got picked up. And that was there for several years. Then it's got down now to where you only get one garbage can. I had a couple move out of their house last week, and they had one can full, but the rest of it was put in paper boxes set out, and the rain hit it, and guess what? Now they're all over the place to be picked up. But what I'm gonna really talk to you about, and I know it will work, I can tell you the answer to this situation. 2 dumpsters. Take them and put them down on each side of where you're putting the sticks at, down there on 8th Street. And 2 dumpsters, they pick them up once a month. Now, they can put a lot of stuff in a dumpster, and they got the city people there with a backhoe. And I know because we do it ourselves. And if they push that garbage down twice a week, they could put a lot of garbage in one dumpster. And the city placed them there, and then if they could put anything in it they want in it. And I know because John Bray put a 3-bedroom house in 2 dumpsters last Saturday, and he squashed it down, and they pick them up once a month. Now Grover Township has a dumpster out there, and part of Fairfield is in Grover Township, and I've seen a lot of people take their garbage out there to take it out, and I think that would be the quickest answer. And talk about cleaning up Fairfield, you gotta give people somewhere to take their garbage. They have no place to take it, and no price to pay for it a lot of times. And I think if you try this, my brother lives in Carmi, and a couple of my friends, and they put one on the east and west side of Carmi. They said that was the best thing the city had ever done for Carmi in several years. And I hope you take mine, and I guarantee you it'll work if you try it. And I'll tell you the cost of it. A big dumpster will cost you about $1,000 to $1,200 if it's packed down good and got a lot of stuff in it. And you might try with one, and if it's not enough, put in the second one. And I'd say, and with my experience and what I've got with my own rental property, I've got a house right now that it would take, I've already took 3 pickup loads out of it, and it'd take another 6 pickup loads to clean the house up. And how long would that take me to put that in just one dumpster?
Right.
So I think that, I hope you'll try it, because I think
Thank
it'll
you,
work.
thank you very much. Anyone else to address the city council tonight? Name and address.
Hi, I'm Claire Vaughn, and I live outside of Fairfield on the East Highway. I just wanted to take this time to invite you guys, the mayor and the city council, to the Small Business Development Center open house on April 21st. This is a new service offered by the college out front here. It is a free service for all business owners, small businesses, any place or any business with 500 employees or less. So everyone around here would qualify. It can be for new businesses, existing businesses. You're thinking you may want to open a business. I would just really love it if you guys would come out. It's going to be good networking, and we'll have giveaways and lots of fun. So April 21st, 1 to 3, and we're going to go to the Bobcats baseball game afterwards. I'd love it if you guys would be there. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else to address the council tonight? Seeing none, we'll move on to agenda item 1. This is the ordinance to approve the sale of property. We had a public hearing at 10 minutes before 6. This is approximately 40 acres owned by the city south of town. Any discussion, or if not,
I don't have any problem selling it with them. I think that we need to put the stipulation that they move forward, that in the contract that they move forward with bonds, and maybe that they don't try to profit off of it, because I know we had the negotiations to get to this price point. You know, they can get closing costs, things like that. That's not an issue, but if that's something anybody else would
I think this was an attempt to
to
do about from
deal,
one seller versus 2, and so I think $120,000 is a fair price. It's what we agreed that we needed, And if you know the shape of that land, which completely encircles what was the Woolsey property that the trust held in its possession,
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty good
Yeah,
deal.
I think that just it needs to have the stipulation.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I can add that in, that though, if that's
I mean,
part of the
'cause, I mean,
motion.
otherwise, you know, it could have been a value, I mean, that we could have looked for other, I mean, and I think this is a business we wanna support. I'd like to make sure that it happens correctly. We have the other issues with things with the industrial trust right now, with the other building, and I think we just need to have our other things in place.
Okay.
Yeah,
You're basically saying that it has to be sold to the loans for $120,000.
Yeah, plus any closing, I mean,
Closing
yeah, they can, I'm just not looking for them to make a profit off the
Right.
deal on our side, but.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, you understand the motion?
Okay, so then I'm going to add as part of the real estate
Yes.
contract that.
Yeah, just adding my stipulation that I said.
That it goes
Okay.
to the bonds.
Those are the bonds, yeah,
At the $120,000.
$120,000, yeah.
All right. That's a motion and a second.
Yeah, the motion was made by Lampley, seconded by Moore. Roll call vote, Eckelberry,
Yes.
Lampley,
Yes.
Lizenby,
Yes.
McGill,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Stahl,
Yes.
Atterbury,
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Agenda item 2, an ordinance establishing the Fairfield Business District, approving a business district plan, authorizing the imposition and collection of a sales tax within such business district, and approving certain actions in connection with the establishment of such a business district.
I have a few questions.
Sure, go ahead.
You say that Harrisburg actually has this in place.
Yes, they do.
Do they collect sales tax or do they use their TIF funds?
They collect sales tax.
Why is it says grants funds are made available through Harrisburg TIF funds, which are administered by the city?
They have a TIF as well. They have both,
So they have both,
yes, just like us.
really? Because all these papers here don't say anything about no percentage, it's all has to do with TIF.
Right. They have both.
Why wasn't, what was that not printed on these papers?
What you asked for, Alderman, was a backdrop of potential ways that we're going to set up our business district as far as
But wasn't we trying to mirror Harrisburg's?
we are using Harrisburg as help
But
in this.
we're mirroring their TIF?
No, we're not mirroring their TIF. We're taking their suggestions for how they do their business district and utilizing. You asked for a framework, and what
Yes,
I did
I
was
did.
give you what Harrisburg is using as their framework for their business district. All of which are open to city council discussion over the course of the next year, because the business district won't actually be in place and collecting the sales tax before April of next year.
Okay. And my understanding that if this is approved tonight, any meeting from now on, it could be brought back up and voted down.
Exactly. All it takes is a negative vote from the city council to stop the business district.
And we are voting on 23 years.
Well, that's up to you. I mean, if you wanna
unless
put a provision in, we talked about the possibility of having a 5-year look back, so that the 23-year doesn't scare everybody. We would at least at the 5-year mark, take a look back and see if it was doing what it was designed to do, and if it's not, then I think it'd probably be prudent for us to move at that time. Again, all it would take would be a majority vote of the
Okay.
city council.
Understand? Are we looking at making these improvements to tenant-owned properties, or properties that tenants are renting, the landlords should be upkeep on their own buildings?
We're suggesting, we're not putting in stone, we're suggesting the possibility that there would be facade programs that would be done to businesses that would require both the landlord as well as the tenant to be able to put some skin in the game as well. I mean, it's not a complete grant. It's,
Why are we taking taxpayers' money for property owners not taking care of their own buildings?
Well, I think what the goal would be, Alderman, was to be able to spruce up the business district area.
And I have no problem with that.
And so, I mean, that would be the goal of it. I think probably to be able to keep a business open or to attract somebody to our business area, there have to be incentives, and that would be one of the uses of the business district tax.
Thank you.
Any other questions that, I'm not the total authority on this, but I mean, we have studied this for quite some time.
A couple of questions. You know, I fully suspect that there is the support here to get this passed, but I'm gonna ask that we've got till June, would be the 90 days, prior to the March 18th meeting. You know, I think you need to take a look at the boundaries. You know, I think you've got restaurants that are in, restaurants that are out, businesses that are in and businesses that are out. And, you know, I mean, it's not this city's council to pick winners and losers of who gets funding and who doesn't get funding. You know, any expense that is spent from the city's standpoint can be reimbursed. You know, I just don't know what the haste is, because reported that one alderman has changed his vote to get this done, and so we had to bring it back. You know, again, I think people know that, you know, that I'm not a supporter of it. You know, I don't feel that my 2,500 propane customers from as far away as New Haven should have to foot the bill for downtown Fairfield. You know, I mean, I don't even know what this is gonna be used for. What's available, what are you doing? I mean, I've heard sidewalks, I've heard Christmas lights, and Christmas lights is just wrong. You know, I'm sorry, folks, and I know some of the, you know, the people, and I understand downtown business, it needs done, but for people that, you know, it was well said that a tax benefits is paid by everybody, it benefits a few, and it's administered by fewer. You know, I ask that we reconsider even the 1%, to take it down to 0.5%. You know, but the comment was made, people are gonna be mad because it's a tax, so we might as well let them be mad at 1%. You know, let's just take our time, and I mean, there's boundaries that I've looked at, you know, that there's a couple businesses that if we're gonna make businesses paid, you ought to make everybody pay, not just a few, not just those, not just these. You know, all I'm asking is to take a little time to study the boundaries. We've got time to get it approved before the 90 days elapse from the public meeting.
All right,
I have another question, please.
okay. I was gonna
Okay,
address
go
this more.
ahead, go ahead.
We studied the boundaries for several months, and in fact, you had input on the boundaries to the extent that we moved them at your suggestion once, so I don't understand
Well,
that comment.
you know, taking a look at the map, I mean, the map's not very good. I mean, it is, you know, I mean, I might have asked you if you know, maybe my competitor was in there, you know, and I think
You
the
asked me to
comment
move
was,
the line to include your
you know,
competitor.
but I mean, you know, why isn't Carter's Trucking involved in this? Why isn't El Mexicano Restaurant in this? Why isn't Morgan Distributing in this?
No, the discussions were plentiful. You were involved in all of those discussions. There's a point where you decide what the business district is gonna look like, and that's what we did, Alderman.
And I'm saying that we've not established this business district. Maybe we need to study it just a little bit more. I mean, there's no sense in the haste of passing it just because you've got the votes to pass it.
Okay.
You know, I mean, and.
Is there any other questions that I could answer for you?
Am I wrong?
I'm not saying you're wrong, Alderman, I'm just saying, are there other questions concerning the proposal in front of us that I can answer?
If we pass this tonight, the boundaries are set in stone.
The boundaries are set, but, yes, I believe they're.
With a public hearing and so that you can add properties.
Okay. Because you asked that question. Okay. So,
But there's no sense-
It's easier to
there's no
remove
sense in
properties,
having
it's a little
another
bit, it's
public
more
meeting.
hoops to add properties.
more hoops to add properties than it is to.
Remove is
subtract.
easy, anybody can, city council can remove,
Right.
and
I mean, I'll just ask the Alderman, what do you, I mean, what's the hurry to pass it tonight? That we can't take a look at the boundaries and make sure that it's what is best for the city of Fairfield?
I think we're proceeding with what is best for the city of Fairfield, but that's my opinion. Alderman, what can I do for you?
Stall asked my question.
Okay, good. Any other questions or comments that we can address? Yes, sir.
How difficult is it to change the boundaries?
Did you ask that question, Tyler?
I believe it was, doing the public hearing and the notice. You gotta mail out notices, you gotta do the public hearing, and then you vote.
Say what?
That's to add.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, isn't that what he
property. I
asked?
think
I'm sorry,
to
yeah.
make-
No, I'm sorry, I didn't.
That's okay. To get rid of, you don't have to have a
I
public.
You
think
send out,
that's
you send
correct.
out the notices in the mail, and then you advertise it for so many days, you do the public hearing, and then 2 weeks later you vote on it. So it's a, 90-day period.
I see, okay.
You know, and I think there's been some misconceptions also that the TIF district is broke. That's just not a very true statement. You know, the TIF district has funds that are sitting in there that are earmarked for projects, and then it has funds that are sitting in there that are not allocated. You know, the funds that are not allocated might be low at this particular time, but sitting right now earmarked from the TIF district is $1 million for the road, $230,000 for the senior citizens building, $400,000 for a water tower, and if those funds aren't used, you know, just like I said, come to TIF. You know, TIF can do the exact same thing that the business district can do.
What is the available balance in TIF then for the next 2 years?
Well, I believe that meeting, the next 2 years, I don't know what it is, but that meeting that we had right here in your office here not too long ago, the unallocated funds were $33,000.
Right, that's what I thought.
But that doesn't mean that the senior citizens is gonna pass, so that adds another $230,000 back to the bottom line. It doesn't mean that the state's gonna come through with the roads, which adds another $1 million back to the bottom line.
Let's pray they come through with the road.
Well, I agree with that 100%, but let's just say that all of these projects come through. Next year, we're gonna get $950,000 from TIF with nothing major earmarked.
But you have to give 40% of that back to the other government.
And I'll just throw this out there also that, you know, if we feel that we need to pass this business tax district, I think that we ought to declare 100% surplus and give it back to the taxing bodies. We don't need to double dip. You're wanting to establish a $950,000 payment from TIF. You're wanting to do $950,000 from a business tax district for what? Christmas lights? I mean,
Any other
if you wanna pass it, you're gonna pass it, but I'm just saying, let's take a look at the boundaries and make sure that it's done correct.
All right. Thank you, Alderman. Any other comments?
I think with all due respect too, we have to realize my generation of people, and the reason I started this whole journey in the first place, even though it didn't quite work out originally like I thought, was we're a town that's okay with sitting back and waiting. And we've done that, and we've not really made any moves, and this gives us tools as a governing body to go forward and see what the options are as far as cleaning up our town and investing in ways to bring more business in. And I think this, taking away this or taking it to 0.5% as opposed to 1, you're just taking half the money away for no reason. I mean, 1%. I've gotten one call that was against it. Everyone else has been for it. Like you said, all your customers are maybe against it.
I've probably had, of all the people that have come to my shop and talked to me, it is probably 8 to 10 people will tell me not to support it. You know, and again, I made this statement last month that I'm not against downtown businesses. I'm for it. But I mean, would it be fair that if Center Street decided to build a new gymnasium, that they told New Hope that they had to pay the taxes on it? No, it wouldn't. You know, and
this is a usage tax. I mean, this is the most fair tax there is. This is, probably should have been done before. You know, you don't go buy.
So are you willing to get rid of TIF?
Well, when does, I mean, that'd be
Typically, it's
something
5 years away from
different.
going
Yeah.
away anyway.
It's 5 years down the road, so.
So are we okay with getting away with TIF? I mean,
I mean, once we get past the big projects here, yeah, we got the water tower and stuff like that, I honestly don't, I've hated TIF since I've had to sit through the meetings with Dan Shearing. I don't have a problem with getting rid of TIF, because it'll allow the city to get about $175,000 straight from the tax revenue, straight to start helping the pensions without having to come here and do a 5% property tax levy. It'd give the grade school, I can't remember what their 40% was, but double it in half, and I mean, it'd be, $500,000 probably, and.
you know, and again, I mean, I just don't think that now is the time. You know, we've got inflation. You know, if we ain't careful, we're going to get into a recession. You know, and putting facade on a building isn't going to make people come and buy what's inside. It's the customer service that goes with that business, with that product that says, hey, you want to go there. You know, and I'm not saying anything negative about any of the downtown businesses, because I'll support them 100%. I just don't think this is the way that we need to support them. You know, we're saying two-thirds of the funds are coming from outside the city. They have no say whatsoever of what happens. You know, maybe we ought to open up the entire Fairfield to be eligible to get business pass districts, to put facade on their homes, to make the city look nicer. Yeah, I mean, the mayor's trying to get people to paint houses to make the city look, I mean,
I don't know what that has to do with this.
I'm just
quite
saying,
honestly.
I'm just trying to make my presentation that I don't think that this is good.
And I appreciate it, and I think we've got your thoughts on it. Anybody else that wants to
So
speak
open
to this issue?
discussion's over.
No,
I'm gonna back Alderman Moore and say, right now is not the time,
Okay.
because, face it, people, Fairfield is becoming a retirement city. Point blank. There's nothing here.
All right,
You guys,
thank you.
got something else you wanna say?
No, they shouldn't. There was an opportunity for public comment. We're not gonna go there. Anything else, Alderman?
I just think that we ought to take a chance to study it before we've got the time.
All right, thank you. Ready for, if there's a motion to approve this motion.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right,
I have a motion by Alderman Reaver, seconded by Alderman Lampley to approve the ordinance establishing a Fairfield Business District. Were we doing a look back, or that was mentioned or not?
Are we doing 23 years, or
It
what are
has
we
to
doing?
be 23 years by statute.
It has to be 23 years.
Yes.
How did
it was
another
5.
district guy talk in there and talk about 5?
no,
That was in a different state, is my
no,
understanding.
w-
Our
we
state
can,
statutes.
but it can end at any time if there's a majority vote of the
Yes,
city
but the
council.
Illinois state statutes say
Says
a
23
business
years.
district has to be established for 23 years.
Do you wanna amend your,
Has to
Motion.
be, so it cannot be undone.
No,
It has
it
to be
has to be
23 years.
established for
Okay.
23
You
years.
establish for 23 years, but a simple majority.
But it can
ends
be,
it.
yes, it can be
Okay.
stopped by a majority council
you wanna
vote.
amend your
With
motion?
a
5-year look back?
a detailed 5-year look back.
Okay. All right, so that's the motion. Is a second, are you okay with that, Alderman Reaver? All right, then let's do the roll.
Okay, roll call vote, Lampley,
Yes.
Lisenby,
Yes.
McGill,
No.
Moore,
No.
Reaver,
Yes.
Stahl,
No.
Atterbury,
Yes.
Eckelberry.
No.
That is 4-4.
Okay, and the mayor will vote yes. So, that takes care of that. Moving on to agenda item 3, ordinance amending utility payment dates. We had a suggestion from one of the aldermen to move our date so that it coincides with the Wayne White billing date. Right now, our deadline is the 10th, Wayne White's the 15th, and the idea was that that's confusing. So this ordinance would amend utility payment dates in ordinances to coincide ours with Wayne White's for the 15th, a later date for us. Any discussion on that? Do I hear a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second that motion.
I have a motion by Alderman Lisenby, seconded by Alderman Eckelberry, to approve the ordinance amending the utility payment dates.
When's it go into effect?
I think as soon as the council approves it, which should
As soon as
be
it's,
next.
it should say that, it's published by pamphlet form, just how,
So do we got an idea when that might be? I mean, so the customers will know that the bill's not due till the 15th instead of the 10th?
I'm saying May, or is that fair? Fair, okay. I'm looking at DL.
I mean, I'll have it published in pamphlet form
Okay.
tomorrow, so.
Thank you.
and that's 10 days after that, so
By May,
sorry.
that's okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, roll call vote, Lisenby,
Yes.
McGill,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Reaver,
Yes.
Stahl,
Yes.
Atterbury,
Yes.
Eckelberry,
Yes.
Lampley.
Yes.
Okay, it passes. Agenda item 4, ordinance to approve the second equipment sale to Wayne White. Alderman Lampley, I believe that's somewhere north of $250,000, and we're talking about more tools, et cetera. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
it's more of the bigger equipment. We did the tools for 60,000 here. I guess a few weeks ago now. They finally did the rest of the inventory of the things they want. There is quite a bit of stuff left they will, assist us in trying to get rid of. This is $285,000 worth of stuff they used they used their inventory people and then used outside sources to verify. I believe what they have offered us is a very good rate on everything. It was very detailed.
Any questions concerning that, or do we have a motion?
I would make the motion.
Second that.
Motion by Alderman Lampley, seconded by Alderman Eckelberry, to approve the ordinance to sell equipment to Wayne White. Roll call vote, McGill,
Yes.
Moore,
I will abstain due to my relationship with Wayne White.
Reaver,
Yes.
Stahl,
Yes.
Atterbury,
Yes.
Eckelberry,
Yes.
Lampley,
Yes.
Lisenby.
Yes.
That passes. Agenda item 5, award a bid for influent screen at the wastewater treatment facility. I understand, Madam Clerk, we had 3 bids
Yes, we
for
did.
this. The low bid was $214,707. The next closest bid was considerably higher.
It was about $90,000 higher. The original estimate, engineer's estimate, was $260,000. However, I did receive a note from the engineer, Shannon Woodard with Connor & Connor, And he said that this particular company actually came down, studied the facility, studied the electrical. None of the others actually came and visited, so,
The company that did the loan?
yes.
Okay.
And, he said the biggest, amount difference was, concrete, the charge for concrete pad. But this company did come down and see exactly what they were looking at. So he didn't have any problem. He feels like, Followell is a good company, so he doesn't have any concerns with the disparity in the bids.
This is a necessary addition to the wastewater treatment facility. If there are no other questions, I'd entertain a motion.
One question.
Yes, sir.
What kind of warranties on that work? Is it stated there?
I actually do not have the bid in front of me. The engineer has that. He took that with him to do the bid tabulation, so I don't actually have that. He hasn't returned that yet to be able to tell you what the warranty is.
But there is a warranty, obviously.
Let me see if it says anything in
Seems
the-
like the engineer, when he was here and spoke, he said something about a life expectancy of it, but maybe not. I think he said it was like a 25-year life expectancy.
Yeah, see, your memory's better than mine. I don't remember him saying that.
I
That
might have
wouldn't be a
read that.
warranty though, that long.
No, that wouldn't be a warranty. He mentioned a warranty.
And this is gonna be done this year, Tina?
Yes.
Okay.
What about maintenance? You know, I think the electrical distribution, you know, we bought some transformers and we failed to maintain them or failed to do anything, and it cost us a lot of money to repair. Is there any maintenance available with this operation other than the employees doing it?
My understanding was that it was constructed in such a way to make it safer for the employees to keep it maintained than the current.
Yeah, but it would be a very
There
good
were-
idea to look into having somebody come and just doing an outside inspection just to make sure it's right. I mean, we're spending $200,000.
Well, I mean, the engineer themselves will be down to do all of the follow-up on the work.
But that just follow up on the work. You know, I'm asking what happens after next year or the following year. I mean, there's gotta be something we can look at to reduce the exposure that the city might be involved with if we just turn it on and don't do anything.
I mean, at the age of the sewer plant on the run, I mean, it's a great operating facility out there. I mean, award winning, I mean, but it's at its age that, I mean, everything needs to be examined out there probably more frequently than by an outside eye.
I know maybe that's something that Shannon can answer. I mean, move on with the project.
What's your pleasure? You wanna go forward or you
I'll
wanna?
make a motion, we go forward with the lowest bid.
Okay,
I'll second that.
all right.
Have a motion by Alderman Stahl, seconded by Alderman McGill, to award the bid for the influence screen to Followell Construction in the amount of $214,777. Roll call vote: Moore,
Yes.
Reaver,
Yes.
Stahl,
Yes.
Atterbury,
Yes.
Eckelberry,
Yes.
Lampley,
Yes.
Lisenby,
No.
McGill.
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Agenda item number 6, FCHS request to close streets for prom. My understanding is that they would like to close the traditional 100, 200, 300 blocks of West King and a section of Southwest 4th Street from 6 p.m. until 8 p.m. on April 23rd.
Make that motion.
I'd second it.
Motion by Alderman Eckelberry, seconded by Alderman Lampley, to approve the street closing request for the FCHS prom on Saturday, April 23rd. Roll call vote: Reaver,
Yes.
Stahl,
Yes.
Atterbury,
Yes.
Eckelberry,
Yes.
Lampley,
Yes.
Lisenby,
Yes.
McGill,
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Agenda item 8. Wait a minute, no,
Seven.
I'm sorry. Recreation fund requests. The recreation fund would be Go ahead and explain it, if you
Yeah.
wouldn't mind, Alderman.
We created the recreation fund based on the state statute after doing the hotel motel tax. The recreation fund has about $28,000 in it, and it can only be used for things that promote, pretty much your downtown area, you know, small events, things like that. Anything that can bring people to town, that can help make things look better, etc. There's a very stipulated list of rules. We had our last meeting this past week, and it was brought, or I guess last Wednesday, to fund the chamber Easter egg hunt and the FCHS horticulture class for Plants for Downtown. For many years, the FCHS horticulture class has redone the pots downtown, the plants, and there's been a lot of maintenance and expenditures, and it would be a $500 to them. And the chamber Easter egg hunt, which has been the Lions Easter egg hunt for decades, unfortunately it was found out very late that the Lions were not going to be doing the Easter egg hunt this year. And Libby and the chamber stepped up, and to help them, because it's about 2,000 eggs filled with prizes and things like that, $500 towards them.
Under other duties as a son, egg filling. So, any questions or concerns about this as a use of recreation fund money? You make the motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Lampley, seconded by Alderman Reaver, to approve the request to use recreation funds for $500 to the chamber for the Easter egg hunt, $500 to the FCHS horticulture class for the downtown plants. Roll call vote: Stahl,
Yes.
Atterbury,
Yes.
Eckelberry,
Yes.
Lampley,
Yes.
Lisenby,
Yes.
McGill,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Reaver.
Yes.
Okay. Number 8, dangerous building reports, and I'm going to turn to the clerk for that.
I just wanted to make everybody aware, I did receive a letter from Chief Fulkerson from the police department. I've been notified that he has identified 3 fire damaged buildings, one at 113 Highland Avenue, 301 West King is another one, and 501 West College. And I received these reports, and I will be, according to ordinance, sending out the notices to the owners, and we will be having, moving forward with getting those properties declared. They've already been declared dangerous. I'll let them know, and there's a process that we go through by ordinance. I will begin that process this week or beginning of next week.
What was your first address?
The first address was 113 Highland Avenue.
Do we, I mean, I'm not trying to push, do we have any expedited ways with the municipal court or anything? Because we are still working on some of the dangerous buildings when I first joined the council.
The fire damaged buildings are handled completely different than any of the other, just dilapidated buildings. Because of fire damage, it goes into, where I have to send out certified letters to the owners. We have to have a 3-person committee that meets to declare if they are in agreement that it's over 50% damaged. And then they have a chance to come to a hearing, these property owners do. So it's handled completely different than regular.
Does it end up at the Wayne County Courthouse?
If they don't actually go through with fixing it, then it can be declared through the court system.
Yeah, I mean, it's out of our hands once it gets there, and that's where we've
Yes.
been hung up, but
Yeah.
I just didn't,
I think the word expedited gets lost in this at times. I agree. Okay. We didn't have to do a vote on that. Tina, you were just informing us,
That was
right?
yes, information.
Well, then it's time for the mayor's report. Scheduling conflicts are making it difficult to have the first meeting between the city and the Fraternal Order of Police. Alderman Reaver has agreed to sit in as a member of the city negotiating team on April 26, 27 to start negotiations with them. We had a shuffle within the city workforce over the past week. It started when Eric Holstein moved back to water distribution after we signed a memo of understanding which prevented 6 positions from being changed. Sort of a cascading effect with the Holstein move. Moving, Eric left a position in the Street and Bridge Department. We assigned the floater, Keith Grove, to fill Holstein's spot, which means we have not added to the city's workforce. The airport reports 92 overall operations from February 21st to April 10th. Ag Monkey led the way with 38 operations. Ed Prince, by the way, started weekend duties and has completed his Illinois UST Class AB operator training scoring. He had a 93% on his test, so congratulations to Ed. Fairfield firefighters had 66 responses in March, 61 of which were EMS assists. The police department reports 3 felonies, 9 misdemeanors, including 3 DUIs, and 2 warrants. FPD also wrote 10 local ordinance violations. Also, the state deemed our ADA grant complete, and the department was in compliance. The final stages of testing are set for later this week for the 3 candidates for the position of patrol officer. If all succeed, the academy starts for them on May the 4th. There will be a ribbon cutting ceremony for the new office of Dr. Sean Bladell at the former People's Building at 215 Southeast 3rd Street. His business is called Recreated Health, and he offers chiropractic services, among other things. This is the 4th business to locate on the top floor of Andrew Gifford's new building, which he refers to as now a boutique hotel. Gifford reports he will still have a gym and a restaurant, but has scaled back his plans for hotel rooms to 12. Also, Gifford says his downtown coffee shop at 207 East Main Street is scheduled to open on June 14th. And ahead of the April 20th deadline, the trust, which owns the former Vaughn grocery store on the East Highway, has applied for a building permit for roofing repairs and renovations to the building. We still have one other property that has until April the 28th to make improvements before the city takes them to court. Questions about the mayor's report?
Do we see this?
Did we skip number 9?
Well, we're going into
Yes. Okay, we're gonna go into executive session after miscellaneous.
Do we expect this building permit to be legit? I mean, I'm asking the serious question that,
Oh, I
cause I've been given information before, you know, that
I know.
they're trying to push it down the road.
Tyler, I don't know how to answer that, quite honestly. If they come in and they take out a building permit ahead of their deadline, and
Well, ahead of their deadline was to actually have done something.
I understand, yes, sir.
Should we, I mean, ask for at least a reference to a construction company that, I mean, I think we need to proceed because we have pushed this back quite a bit.
I understand. Well, ever since I've been here, let's put it that way.
Yeah, I've been kind of looking into this. I didn't realize they had pulled out a business permit or a building permit until now, but I was working on the complaint, and this matter is being litigated on its own in court. There's an estate proceedings, and they've been trying for quite some time, and they had listed a contractor as part of their petition to try to get authority from the court to allow the estate to spend money to fix the building. And just based on my memory, it was looking like it was about $5,000 to repair.
It's gonna take more than $5,000.
I'm just saying that's what
Yeah,
is in.
no, they think, yeah.
Is there any way that you can put 30 days
I was told
so that
50,
we can see something happening?
Just to see something.
Well, if it's tied up in court, maybe not.
No.
Well, the funding of it and the ability to, you know, make repairs to it and that type of thing, that's tied up in court. Like I said, I was looking at it at a completely different angle, but
You were looking at, because I said to you,
Right.
April 28th, 6 on these properties, we're gonna do something about it. And then, in the meantime, we got the building permit. So I understand your concern. I don't wanna be I don't want the, let's take the air out of the ball and hold on to it for another 6 months. I don't want that to happen either,
Yeah.
Tyler. Let me look into it further and report back to the city council.
Appreciate it.
All right. Is there any miscellaneous comments from the city council before we discuss our executive session?
I see the Fairfield Police Department wrote some ordinance violations, but the two main eyesores are, what are we doing with them? That'd be Barry Bonds, he's had that red truck sitting there with no tires. Hugh Sons, I've got pictures that I gave Assistant Chief Call Closure last January. And, you know, are we just, what's the status on trying to get those two properties cleaned up?
I don't have a report on that. I'll have to work with the city police department to find out where we are on that. Keith, is there anything new on either one of those?
They were both cited, they both paid their fines in advance, and just been jumping around some new property. That's all I got for it.
Moving junk in and moving junk out? Okay.
I know we referred one of them to a different agency, I can report that.
Okay. A federal agency. Okay. I'm with you, Alderman. I wish we could do more.
Well, I mean, and I understand, I know, you know, the police department is short-staffed and whatnot, but I mean, you know, we have the ability under the municipal court to go in there every day and issue another citation. You know, maybe that's what it takes to get somebody's attention. I mean, I don't know, but, you know, those two properties, you know, are absolutely terrible.
All right. Well, we'll discuss how maybe to ramp things up.
Thank you.
Other miscellaneous comments?
I just wanna thank Bill Benston for his time that he put in part-time at the city at the airport.
Thank you. We also wish him well. All right, so I'm gonna ask for an executive session, but there's a strong possibility we'll return to possibly vote on the IBEW contract. If the media doesn't want to wait around and they want to leave a phone number where I can call to report that, that's welcome. If not, you're welcome to stay as long as you want to stay for this. But that's one element of the executive session, and I'll have the clerk tell us about other elements of it.
The executive session would be to discuss section 2C21, minutes of closed session meetings, 2C11, pending litigation, 2C2, collective negotiating matters between the public body and its employees. Do I have a motion to go into executive session?
I do.
Second.
Motion by Eckleberry, seconded by Moore. Roll call vote, Atterbury,
Yes.
Eckleberry,
Yes.
Lampley,
Yes.
Lisenby,
Yes.
McGill,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Reaver,
Yes.
Stahl.
Yes.
All right. For those of you that are going to leave, thank you very much for attending the city council meeting tonight. Thank you for your input.
I hope she calls me, cause that's one for her.